What do you do if you've got a problem in the garden? You go to the Burke's Backyard website. All the answers are there. And one person who got onto us with a problem is Felicity Bruce Smith, and she had a problem with her terrarium.
Hi Don, my name's Felicity and this is my terrarium. It was made in 1981 by my grandmother and has only been opened once in its whole entire lifetime. It's only been watered once in 30 years, it's never been fertilised. There are little bugs in it. It's really slimy, it's just not looking very healthy, and I'm too scared to open it to fix it myself. So I'm leaving it in your capable, wonderful hands. Thanks.
So here it is. Isn't that amazing to think? Whatever's left in here has been living in there unwatered and uncared for basically for 34 years. But now it really is starting to look, as they say these days, a bit manky. Let's see if we can pull it apart, what we can save of it, and perhaps we might do this up now and make it look fresh and new and young all over again, and hopefully she will get another 30 years. Now I feel a bit like Howard Carter here opening Tutankhamun's tomb. Gosh, I've got no idea what we'll find happening inside. Firstly, it looks quite dry, even though it seems humid and there's a lot of water condensing around it. The potting mix or whatever looks reasonably dry. So it appears to be one plant which is sort of taken over. Now, this plant, obviously, because it's been indoors in a bottle for so long, would not have a suntan. So if you put this in strong sun, it would die very quickly. Equally, it's used to very humid conditions, so just normal air would burn this plant to death. So what we will do while I'm waiting to do something else is we'll put the plants in, what we're going to do is recycle some supermarket bags or shopping bags. So just in there, keep it nice and humid while we have a look at the bottle. Well, it's what you call a very coarse mix. It's got charcoal. Now that would have originally all been at the bottom, so you have a layer at the bottom of charcoal just for a bit of air for the roots and perhaps to get away from the worst of the flooding problems you might have. So there's your charcoal. Then it's a good quality, that's a very good quality potting mix. Obviously if it lasted 30 years in a bottle, it's amazing. What are we going to do? I'm now going to clean this bottle out, and as part of the clean out I will use bleach. Once you re-enclose this, any sort of funny little organism may grow in there. It could be a bacteria, could be a fungus, could be whatever. So we really do need reasonable cleanliness before we replant this with anything. So this will be brought back to, perhaps by the cliche, hospital cleanliness. So we've pulled them all apart. There's 5 of Grandma's original plants. Looks to be a little piper or peperomia or something like that, just one of those little indoor plants. We're only going to use little bits of it now because it's going to go berserk once it gets going. So the first thing you do is you put in a layer of charcoal. That creates sort of a little sweet area at the bottom to keep the whole thing from getting too messy. Now I've made up a particularly fluffy and sandy potting mix. It's a fairly standard sort of a premium quality potting mix with some coarse sand added. So again, it's just a nice little medium for the plants to grow in. Remember that there's no drainage in this, there's no drain hole at the bottom, so whatever you put in there has got to provide aeration for the roots, because if it gets very, very wet, the roots would die. Hence the sand and coarse sort of potting mix. Now Felicity, see, this is proof we're getting, this is some of Grandma's plants. It's got a nice little bit of root on it. That's the original plant. We'll put that right in at the far end. Let it do its little bit of thing. Now, just in case of disaster, we'll put another piece in, because you know, you never know. Once you move things, they can die. I'll just pick a nice little bit of plant to put in. These sort of plants, you'll notice they send out roots virtually at every node. That's every joint where the leaf comes out. So any bit of this will grow as a cutting. So this is a good little indoor plant that means you could turn it into hundreds if you wished. All right. There's 2 bits in there and they'll probably take over again and fill it all up. Now, we've picked some other little indoor plants to add a little bit of interest. This will be quite a challenge for an African violet, but it's worth trying one of these little miniature ones. They're very pretty little plants. He's calling this Mosaic Plant. The old name used to be nerve plant, in other words, for all the veins being whitish. I'm squishing the roots, by the way, if any of you are worried. In this sort of a gentle environment, doing damage to the roots is irrelevant to the future of the plant. And that's more than enough. And I guess, as before, which Grandma found out, these plants will sort out amongst themselves which one's going to live and which one's not. Survival of the fittest in these sort of things. I've still got to water this in yet so that, you know, it settles down. And also, of course, we've put aside a heck of a lot of cuttings of Grandma's old plant that she can do other things with. So I'm not going to overwater it. I'm putting a fair bit of water in there just to start this little... It is a miniature ecosystem that's in here, and you don't need a heck of a lot of water. One of the challenges with these things is working out how much water should go in. So I've just squirted a fair bit in just to get it a little bit wet. I'm leaving the end open for a while just for the African violet leaves to dry off a bit. Then I'll put the cork in. I guess you can never know whether you put enough water in. You would seal it up and then you keep an eye on it for the first 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. And if anything starts to be looking like it's gone a bit limp or something because it's a bit too dry, maybe add a bit more water. Can I just urge one more thing? Restraint in everything when you're doing this. Under plant, don't fill it full because it's going to go berserk. We've now got in there sort of 4 plants, and 4's more than enough. Don't over fertilise it. There's some fertiliser in the potting mix, so it's pretty right. Don't overwater it. Just go easy with everything. Let it settle for an hour or 2, then put the cork back in, and well, I'm hoping, Felicity, this is our gift to you, and thank you for contacting us. 30 years. Now, I got a thought. That's got to be the best horticultural thing I've heard of for many, many years. 34 years in the one container with the one group of plants. So Felicity, we'll make you up a Burke's Backyard gift pack with some of the Burke's Backyard books and various other bits and pieces. Please accept this back from us and our congratulations. Great effort. There's the job done.
Oh wow. Oh, that looks amazing. That's absolutely fabulous. I don't think I've ever seen it this clean in my whole life. Thank you so much, Don. It's pretty and beautiful, and I love it. I really love it. Thank you so much.
And if you've got something to rival Felicity's unbelievable story, 34 years in one container, if you've got any sort of plant that you think you've done magic with, get onto the Burke's Backyard website and let us know.